Sound, please.
Rolling.
I play Maggie Harden. She lives in New York and she works on arts administration and development at the New School, and she's very practical and very clear, not passionless, but she's never really had a great love in her life in that way. So she's decided at the beginning of the movie that she's just gonna have a baby on her own because she's financially stable and she wants to, and she's quite logical. And then when she sets this in motion, she meets John, and I think she falls in love for the first time.
The character I play is John Harding, a professor who's struggling to be a novelist, who's in an unhappy marriage, and he falls madly in love with this young woman he meets. He's living his life entirely in the shadow of his partner, Georgette, played by Julianne Moore, and the marriage is working completely for her. She's getting everything she wants, and he just feels a little lost. That's where we find him.
John feels that he wants to have a more commercial career. They end up getting divorced, and then Georgette oddly has sort of a breakthrough commercially and ends up being very successful. The divorce you feel like is probably acrimonious, but then they end up staying in touch as parents and friends and as colleagues, as work colleagues. And Georgette, I think, has never stopped loving him. I think always wants him back, and when she's presented with the opportunity, she seizes it.
It's about all these people falling in love and falling out of love and finding each other again, and nothing is perfect or cliched. And I think there was something, I just never read anything like that before.
The idea of a woman wanting to have a child and not having a partner. When I read it, it didn't really strike me as, by God, this is modern. It was sort of like, yeah, this is what people are finding all different ways to achieve what they want in terms of family.
I was looking for something that I could base a story on, which I wasn't used to doing, because normally I write my own material from the beginning. Even if it's a novel, I'll base things off my own novels. But I was looking at different books, and I wanted something in the city, and I wanted something funny.
Rebecca had read Karen Rinaldi's The Start of a Novel that she was writing and really liked the germ of the story and sent it to me, some of the pages, and I thought that it was funny and unique and sort of a great pairing with Rebecca's sensibilities.
The main thing that Karen really wanted was that Maggie was not motivated by guilt, that this was not a story about guilt, but something else, a desire not to be wasteful, a desire to do the right thing. And in a way, that's, I think, part of why she's such an original character.
And Rebecca is an auteur filmmaker. She has Final Cut, and she likes to work. She doesn't like to work outside of this system. She needs to work outside of this system. The plan, like with a lot of independent films, is to put a package together and then figure out how much, the film can be made for, and to try to keep it manageable so that you have the artistic freedom that this type of film warrants. In terms of sending it to actors, we really went targeting people that we knew would be right for the parts.
When they approached me with this, I paid special attention. Rachel Horowitz is a producer on it who's a friend of mine and somebody I also wanted to work with. And then throw into it two of the best actresses working today. It was a pretty straightforward decision.
Well, luckily I'm supposed to be intimidated by Julianne's character, Georgette, in the film, and I am so intimidated by her.
I got to work with Julianne for one day, but it was a great day. I think she said at the end of the day to Greta and I, it was really fun. I got to work with other women today, and we were all kind of looking around like, yeah.
I mean, she's not an intimidating person. Julianne is like a sweet, wonderful woman, but she's a tremendous actress, and she's also playing this Danish genius.
I think Greta is very special as an actress because she is both able to see something from the point of view of a writer, so she sees the whole picture, but she's also very, very present emotionally and has a big emotional reserve. So to be so real emotionally and yet be funny and sort of see how you and what you're doing is fitting into the whole story, that's a really special kind of gift, and it's something that I think very few people have.
I feel ownership over this in the way that I've felt ownership over things I've written because I had such a long, luxurious lead up.
Oh, there's just something wonderful about being around people who are dedicated to telling stories for no reason but to tell stories.
That kind of attitude, it's that real collaboration in the profoundest sense.
With the independent films I make, I try to really consider them as protected treasures that should not be touched until they're finished by the filmmaker.
It was all about whatever was best for the film, and we made it together. We really made it together.
I would hope that audiences have as much fun as we do making it.
And just really, really, really fun to do.
It's just very lucky.